Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lectionary. Today, for Friday, let's take a look at the lesson, that's first lesson that's assigned for morning prayer from the second book of Kings. Now, when we started way back in Samuel and then in the book of Kings, the beginning of the book of Kings, we had the stories of great and faithful kings, David and Solomon. But now the kingdom is divided, and we have a kingdom of Judah, the southern 2 tribes, and then the 10 northern tribes, the kingdom of Israel. And unfortunately, the kingdom of Israel has fallen into the worship of false gods. And so we will hear these stories being recounted as we go through this, the second book of Kings especially, about how these different kings have fallen into false worship, have fallen away. And occasionally we'll get one who has a little bit of faithfulness, and they begin to understand that they've gone away. And then the next son comes along and brings them right back into the unfaithfulness. Unfortunately, God's chosen people, it's not a straight line of faithfulness. Unfortunately, they have ups and downs. And it's probably why the Bible is such an amazing book, because it's not just being recorded about all the good something did, all the warts are there for the world to see as well. So the first lesson is from 2 Kings chapter 1, beginning at verse 2. And Ahijah fell down through the lattice in his upper chamber that was in Samaria, and was sick. And he sent messengers and said unto them, Go, inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron, whether I shall recover of this disease. But the angel of the Lord said to Elijah the Tishbite, Arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say unto them, Is it not because there is not a God in Israel, that ye go to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron? Now therefore thus saith the Lord, Thou shalt not come down from that bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die. And Elijah departed. And when the messengers turned back unto him, he said unto them, Why are ye now turned back? And they said unto him, There came a man to meet us, and said unto us, Go, turn again unto the king that sent you, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Is it not because there is not a God in Israel, that thou sendest to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron? Therefore thou shalt not come down from that bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die. And he said unto him, What manner of man was he which came up to meet you, and told you these words? And they answered him, He was a hairy man, and girt with a girdle of leather about his loins. And he said, It is Elijah the Tishbite. So he died according to the word of the Lord, which Elijah had spoken. It's interesting to hear this description of Elijah as a hairy man, girt with a girdle of leather about his loins. Right? It's interesting, and he knew exactly. The king knew exactly who it was. Did that. By the way, the word Beelzebub we often associate with the devil because of the worship of the demons of this world. But it's spelled Baal and then -Zebub. And so Baal is kind of a general word for a false god, right? So all the people around Israel worshipped Baal, such as Baal Peor, Baal Zebub. So there's different affectations and manifestations of this false god of Baal. And so it is terrifying. That and Moloch are the terrifying gods, false gods that the people around are sacrificing to, and sacrificing children on top of that. So it is horrible. So anyway, so we're going to journey with the people in the second book of Kings and pray as we watch the people of Israel descend into unfaithfulness, and then how God does eventually restore them as well. Whew. Okay, so today's Friday. No public worship today at St. John's, but let's say our prayers, let's pray for each other, and may God give you a Friday that is full of blessings.